Greetings and blessings on this Thursday, St. Paul's. Today, the church celebrates the feast of Cyril, Bishop of Jerusalem in the 4th century. The psalm appointed for his feast day today is Psalm 122. I was glad when they said to me, "Let us go to the house of the Lord." Now our feet are standing at your gates, O Jerusalem. This is a very important person to celebrate, particularly for those of us who follow the lectionary and the church calendar. Cyril is credited with probably being the one who started the practice of the observance of Palm Sunday and Holy Week when he was Bishop of Jerusalem in the 4th century. It is also said that he was the one who wrote or started the writing of what is now the Catechism of the Church and the practice of teaching it to those who were converting to the faith before Easter during the season of Lent and Holy Week. It is very important because that is his writings, or the writings that are ascribed to him, serve as the basis for what we have in our prayer book today. And therefore, it is, I believe, very important for us to recognize his feast, his work, and the contributions that he gave to the church, even at that early time in our existence. It is also important for us to continue to remember those who, in our time, work really hard to bring about the teachings and the structures of worship that we have in our church. It doesn't come just by coincidence. It doesn't come out of nowhere. It takes the work of a lot of people. In the Episcopal Church, for example, we have the Standing Committee on Liturgy and Worship, which is organized by the General Convention of our church and that meet regularly to try to put forth proposals for ways in which the church, the Episcopal Church in particular, should conduct its public worship. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of conversation, a lot of research to bring about those results. That is why it takes so long for things like a prayer book revision to happen, or even the revision of the hymnals to happen, because there's a lot of theological study that needs to be done to make sure that the prayers we use are in congruence with our faith, with what we profess to believe. It is not just a group of people who sit down and say, "Oh, let's just do this." No, there is a lot of work that goes into revising and studying how the Episcopal Church does worship. So in gratitude for them and for Cyril, I ask you to pray for God's continued inspiration, for God's continued guidance, and for open hearts and minds within our church to understand that the way we do worship, the way we do prayer together is very intentional. It is very meticulous. And even though when we come together on Sunday, it seems like the simplest thing, every word, every comma, every period, every colon, semicolon has been thought out. Every rubric that you see in our prayer books and hymnals has been very carefully considered. Are they the best ever? Probably not. The best ever won't come until kingdom come, probably. But the hard work is no less of great importance for us. So thank you all who do this hard work. Thank you all who do the hard work of coming together week after week to decide what we're going to do in our common prayer life together, even the hymns we're going to sing. All of those things are important as we seek to, in our journey of faith, offer praise and worship to God as individuals and as a faith community. Blessings on this day, St. Paul's.